While we often talk about Hassan, we do that because he's the largest political, like left-leaning influencer online. And we could also just assume that Hassan is shorthand for all these far-left influencers and commentators online. We just take on time to list out all the other people. And I'm not going to bring up somebody like Denims or Mike from PA, because who cares at the end of the day about them? But what I'm trying to say is that we don't need him to actually just toe the party line. We just need him to understand the potential negative outcomes of what he's doing. And that is what we're critical of him for, because for him, he seems unaffected if Trump is president. Like, if Trump becomes president and really starts fucking shit up, he's fine. He has enough money to fly him and his entire family back to fucking Turkey or wherever else he wants to go in the world, and he gets to escape all the possible bad outcomes. And I don't want him necessarily just to like be a complete suck up to it. But when people call you out and say, hey, maybe you should have done a little bit more to actually influence the election, because yeah, while he wasn't able to single-handedly tip the election in Kamala's favor, I don't think anyone's ever said that. What he was able to do is just get a couple people here and there to possibly vote, because these elections aren't lost by large margins a lot of the times. I mean, if you break out the swing states, it's what, like 80,000 votes is what the difference was at the end of the day. Like yeah, it's really small. So yeah, like Hassan isn't controlling 500 million people, 300 million people in the country, but him, along with everybody else, your Crystal Balls, your Kyle Kalinskis, your, all of those other
Majority
people. If all of those people said, hey, listen, guys, it fucking sucks. We're not getting our guy in a primary lost, you know, but the good thing is we had a good showing in the primary. So hopefully next time we can build on this momentum. But guys, right now we have to vote blue no matter who, because the other option is death camps. Because you know what? I was going to say that's a joke, but ICE is literally buying detention, spending billions of dollars in detention centers all over the country. I'm sorry?
You sound crazy when you say this. They're not going to build death camps.
Are they buying, I'm not going to say that. Are they buying detention facilities?
Sure.
All over the
They've
country.
got a lot of people detained. Yeah. So I'm sure rather than keep them in like warehouses like Obama did, they want to build a camp for them somewhere so they can keep them detained in these centers.
And you think it just ends there?
I don't think they're going to be fucking holocausting the illegal immigrants.
Do you have the Holocaust them to be bad?
I don't think there'll be death camps. I'm sure there'll be detainment centers. I'm sure we'll disagree with that tactic. But I think when you talk about death camps, you sound fucking crazy, right? So like, you're hurting yourself.
But first of all, your opinion on me doesn't matter to me.
Well, when I say yourself, I mean your side of the aisle. Because Republicans.
Doobie, stop. Let Usurp finish. Usurp, go ahead.
If the day before the election, we were having this exact same conversation, and we were talking about the same thing about I wish Hassan would have actually pushed for more to possibly help get Kamala elected. And if I had said, dude, if Trump gets elected, he's going to increase ICE's budget by billions of dollars to be like the fifth most, to have a budget higher than the U.S. Marines. And with that money, they were going to be buying detention centers all across the country to put people in camps, including American citizens, because unfortunately, American citizens and people who have been here illegally have been in those camps, and they're expanding them now. You would have said the exact same thing to me back then.
That's not true.
I'm fucking crazy.
Trump is open about this. Trump is very open about his plan to expand ICE and to deport all the illegal immigrants. In fact, that's why many people voted for him. So I don't. That's not crazy.
I think you're lying to
death camps is crazy.
I think that's copium.
No, that's silly. Death camps is crazy, right? So, and I think when I say you're hurting yourself, I don't mean you.
If I would have said the exact same time before that there were going to be armed, masked, anonymous goons that answer only to Donald Trump running around American cities and kidnapping people, masked, armed, and anonymous.
Okay.
You would have called me fucking crazy, right?
No, because what you're describing right now is exactly what Trump was saying he would do on the campaign trail, which is mass deportation.
Yeah, mass deportations is fine.
Wherever they are, right?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm asking you.
I don't think them wearing masks to conceal their identity because they have activists going after them, whatever the fuck, is like a crazy thing to say. I wouldn't have said you're crazy for that. What I do think is crazy is death camps, right? And when I say that you're hurting yourself, I don't mean you're hurting yourself personally, right? I'm sure you say crazy shit all the time online. I mean, when somebody on the center right, somebody's a moderate, like an actual moderate, or like a Republican sees you say that, they think, oh, this guy's just fucking crazy. He just has TDS, and they ignore everything you say. So just avoid the hyperbolic, crazy statements. I think it's just harmful.
I'm not going to take advice from someone with a fucking hammer and sickle in his background, number one. Number
What's
two,
wrong with the hammer and sickle?
It's bad. Number two,
Why?
what I was talking about earlier, when you're lying to yourself and to everybody else. If you would have said that in 2024, right after the election, I was sitting there being like, guys, I think this can get really bad. I know he's going to say mass deportations, but I mean, even under Obama, we had a lot of deportation, but I think it's going to be a lot worse this time because I think there's going to be these guys in both.
He was explicitly arguing for this. This was his position.
Was he arguing for putting
the
people
deportation all over the fucking country?
No, he was saying we had mass deportations before under Obama, and it was nothing like this. Right?
Okay, he was saying to go much further than Obama. Hold on.
But he didn't. But if I said, this is how far I think he'd go. I think he's going to go so far as to increase the ICE budget to more than the U.S. Marines get, and he's going to allow those people. He's going to allow those people to go around with no badges, no ID, their masks covered, for some reason wearing flak jackets and carrying AR-15s like they're kicking in doors in Fallujah, and they're going to just be disappearing people, and then those people are going to be flown all over the country so their family members don't even know where they are until they end up in fucking South Sudan. You would have called me crazy. And again, going back to the death camp, you're lying. And going back to my death camp thing, I'm not saying that it's 100% possibility. It's obviously not. I can't see into the future. I'm not clairvoyant. But what I can say is that it's a possibility. Yeah, and if you don't think it's a possibility, I think you go back to my answer that you guys don't think Trump is that bad.